It was my night, the night I had worked 10 years for. I had climbed a corporate ladder built on coffee-fueled mornings and sleepless ambition, and there he was, my quiet constant, standing by the bar in that grey shirt he knew I loved. But I barely looked at him. I was too busy accepting compliments from men who only knew the surface of me. I introduced him once: "This is Ion, my partner," then left him stranded in conversations with people who didn't care. My laughter echoed through the room. His silence stayed in the background like wallpaper. He watched me. I saw it later in my memory like a slow-motion scene. He raised his glass once, half smiled, then faded into the crowd. I didn't notice, not that night, not even when I came home and found the apartment dark, cold, and untouched. No message, no note, just his keys on the kitchen counter. It wasn't until the third day that I realized something was wrong. I called straight to voicemail. I texted, no response. The silence began to haunt me. Not angry silence, not punishing, just absence. That's what broke me. He didn't scream, didn't accuse. He just erased himself from my life without warning. And I knew why, because that night, in the moment that was supposed to be ours, I made it all about me. I let ego flirt where loyalty should have stood. I entertained attention that wasn't his. I bathed in validation while the man who stayed through my worst felt like an accessory to my success. I didn't sleep with anyone, but I betrayed him with my presence. I gave strangers what he had earned. It's been 8 weeks. I've written letters I never sent. I've driven past his new place. I've spoken to mutual friends, hoping for clues. But he won't engage. I sent one final message. You were never my background. I just got blinded by the lights. I see you now. Please come home. No reply. Now I sit in the same apartment. Promotion certificate framed on the wall. Wine in the fridge untouched. And all I can think is when a man disappears without a word, it's because he said everything with his silence. He stood near the bar, not holding a drink, just holding space. That space was supposed to be mine, but I never claimed it. I was too busy basking in praise. My name echoed in toasts. My laughter danced through the room. I became the woman I had dreamt of being, and forgot the man who believed in her first. People asked about my journey. I told them about the late nights, the deadlines, the battles at work. I didn't tell them about the one who held my hand through panic attacks, who watched me cry in parking lots, who stayed, he stayed, even when I wasn't easy to love. But that night, he stood still, like furniture no one noticed, not even me. I introduced him as Ion, my partner. No depth, no warmth. I didn't even say the man who helped me build this. Just partner, like a footnote in my story. He smiled politely, but I knew that smile. It was the same one he wore at my father's funeral, soft, restrained, respectful. The smile he used when words wouldn't reach. That smile wasn't for celebration. It was survival. I laughed with colleagues who never stayed past 6 p.m. I hugged men who once told me I was too emotional to lead. And I forgot that the only person who saw my breakdowns and still believed in my power was watching me from the shadows. He never tried to take the spotlight. He never asked for more. But the thing about quiet people is when they stop showing up, it's already too late. I didn't see him leave. He disappeared like breath on a mirror, slowly, softly, until there was nothing left. No goodbye, no message, just an echo. And that gray shirt I loved, hanging neatly on the back of a chair. I thought he'd come back. I told myself he was just hurt, but the silence stretched. It wasn't silence filled with anger. It was silence filled with finality, and that's when it hit me. This wasn't about one night. This was about years of him being present while I was performing. This was about emotional loyalty, the kind no one claps for. The kind that holds your hair at 3 a.m. when you're sick. The kind that sits through your self-doubt without fixing it. The kind I ignored for applause. Infidelity doesn't always start in hotel rooms. Sometimes it starts with forgetting who clapped for you when no one else did. It starts with emotional neglect, with prioritizing admiration over connection, with letting someone who loves you become your afterthought. He didn't leave because of that night. He left because that night was just the proof he needed. Proof that I had changed, that I had crossed a line I didn't even see. I didn't cheat with my body, but I cheated with my presence. I cheated with every moment I made him feel small so I could feel important. And now I'm left with the applause, but no anchor. Success tastes bitter without the one who made it sweet. And the truth, it wasn't the promotion that cost me everything. It was the moment I stopped seeing him as part of the victory. He once told me love doesn't need noise, it just needs attention, and I gave mine to everyone but him. Now he's gone, and for the first time in years, I feel the silence, not around me, inside me, where he used to be. He didn't block me, didn't curse me out, didn't give me the closure I begged for. He just vanished. Like a man who had already forgiven me but had nothing left to stay for. I thought he was just cooling off. I thought silence meant time, but silence is a decision, not a pause. The apartment stayed the same. Same toothbrush, same coffee mug, same tiny crack in the hallway tile, but he wasn't in it, and suddenly everything that was once background became unbearable. The keys on the kitchen counter weren't tossed. They were placed. That's the thing about quiet goodbyes, they are intentional. There's no mess, just absence, sharp, surgical, final. I kept replaying that night, the party, my laugh, the look in his eyes I didn't see in real time, only later, when memory stabbed me awake at 3 a.m. He wasn't jealous, he wasn't angry, he was done. I scrolled through our last text thread. His final message read, "You looked happy." I thought it was sweet at the time. Now I know it was a farewell. You don't beg someone to stay when their dignity is bleeding. You let them walk. That's what he did. With quiet strength and shattered eyes, I started sending him messages, carefully crafted paragraphs. Apologies, reflections, acknowledgments, left on read, sometimes not even delivered. That silence, it wasn't punishment, it was peace, the kind he never had with me in those final months. I used to think cheating meant touching naked bodies, secret hotel rooms, but emotional infidelity is worse, because it wears perfume, because it hides in praise, because you don't realize you're betraying someone until you see their seat empty at the table. He had dreams too, small, quiet ones. He wanted to open a bookstore. He told me once, "It doesn't have to be big, just real." And I nodded, while checking emails on my phone. He wanted simplicity. I wanted power. He wanted presence. I wanted progress. I called his mother once, just once. Her voice was calm. She said, "He's okay. He's just choosing peace now." That broke me more than any insult could, because the man I thought would always wait finally chose himself, and now I'm the one watching from a distance. I see his new photos. He smiles differently now, not wide, not loud, but free. There's light in his eyes I never gave him, because I was too busy chasing my own. I started therapy, not for him, for me, because I needed to understand how I lost the only man who ever stayed for the version of me no one clapped for. My therapist asked, "When did you stop prioritizing him?" I said I didn't mean to, but that wasn't an answer. That was an excuse, because in love, not meaning to doesn't mean you didn't do it. The truth is I didn't listen when he was still trying. I only started listening when he got quiet. Now, I check my phone more than I should. I replay voicemails I used to ignore. I scroll up on our old messages, just to feel him again, and I wonder, how many women out there are losing good men, not to other women, but to their own blindness. He didn't leave because someone else came. He left because I did, emotionally, gradually, until he was just a body in the room and I didn't even feel the shift. I tell people I'm fine. They believe me. But late at night, I whisper his name like a prayer and hope the silence responds. It doesn't, because when a man disappears in silence, he's not asking to be chased. He's telling you the chase is over.